there's one thing that can ruin a marriage, and it's one thing that most couples never even think about, and that is the little things that become big matters to people. You got to recognize that you're married to a different person than you are, and that you're not a perfect person, they're not a perfect person, but too many times we let those little imperfections become something huge and big. And that will destroy marriages. You're living those little things. You know, there's a passage in the Song of Solomon. It's a book about marital love. And he says in chapter 2, verse 15, he says, catch for us the foxes, the little foxes that ruin the vineyards, are vineyards that are in bloom. See, God wants to cause your marriage to be in full bloom of love. But you know what you got to do? You got to catch the little foxes. You got to catch them. You got to catch it when you're letting little things ruin your marriage. You know, I've been married now for 41 years to the same and one and only woman, happily married. But I'm going to tell you, my wife and I are completely different. Not in our faith. We both are devout Christians. But in other matters, we are so different. One of my favorite TV shows growing up was The Odd Couple. And just recently, I got my wife to start really watching, and she loves the TV show. But the reason why I like it is my wife and I are the odd couple. You know, she's Felix Unger and I'm Oscar Madison. I'm the slob. I'm the one who's dirty, and she's the one who's a neat freak. You know what I mean? And so many times we've gotten into arguments over her throwing away things that I'm not even finished with, but she thought it was junk, you know, or throw away clothes that she thought was, you know, it's over with, you know, you worn it enough. And I'm thinking, I still like it. You know, I'm one of those that just kind of keep things, and she's the one that just keeps throwing everything away. But we had to come to a realization that we got to just quit arguing about those things. She had to come to realize, you know what, I'm not going to throw things away. I'm just going to let my house be cluttered rather than get into a fight. And she got smart on that. And what I'm saying is, we got to learn to let these little things. Now, I'm not talking about big things. You know, if you have a husband who is a constant cheater on you, I mean, that's not a small thing. If you're married to a wife who's a drug addict and she's secretly doing drugs and bankrupting you, that's not a small thing. But it's those small things, though, that really kind of ruin a marriage, because some of you are in fights. You give your spouse the silent treatment over what? You can't even remember what the argument was about because it was such a small thing. So I urge you, friend, catch those little foxes. If they keep roaming around, they're going to ruin your marriage. You got to catch them. And when you do, your marriage is going to be in full bloom.